Afraid of, you got to bring yourself out here. Somebody, mostly including yourself, needs you to be you. So you just got to be you. That's what I'm going to be talking about, being yourself. You got to express yourself, bring yourself out here. I say this all the time. A lot of you are the gold you're sitting on, but you looking for scraps of pleasure. I remember a good quote says, most people are looking for scraps of pleasure outside when they got the gold within. So it's kind of backwards. When you realize it, you really got everything you need in you, but everybody looks for it outside. So instead of looking for scraps of pleasure, you got to dig into your internal gold. You get what I'm saying? Grand Rising, everybody. Welcome. This is Ed Talks Daily. It's a podcast. Go to edtalksdaily.com and subscribe. And also share this video to 5 friends and comment done. Tap in. So I'm talking about basically sharing yourself. First of all, you can't share something you don't know about. A lot of times when you was a kid, everybody and your mama and your sister, your cousin say share, 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 share. Everybody told you to share with people. But nobody told you that, first of all, you have to discover what you got before you can share it, or you have to cultivate it. So before you can share, you got to figure out, you got to find out, you got to discover it within. So if you got gold in you, you can't share the gold you don't know about. But guess what? Think of you're like a field, right? You full of gold, you got all types of fruits, and you got seeds laying around, but you don't know how to plant them yet. At the same time, you got to find a shovel, you got to find the skill sets, right? So basically, there's a manual to this. Normally, the manual is thought by somebody in the village, right? They'll have a village, and you'd have the elders teach you the manual. How did they get it? They got it from the ancestors. How did they get it? They got it from the ancestors. That has become, in our modern day, books and audiobooks and videos and school and training and all these other knowledge sources of wisdom. Basically, this is how it works. You discover the structure of how this all operates, and then you'll be able to operate in it more effectively. So before you can share anything, you have to discover what you got. So somebody says, how do I discover what I got? The best way to discover is you have to get knowledge. You have to be hungry for knowledge, right? This is something that a lot of people don't think about, but if you're not hungry for knowledge, you're not going to know enough to be able to share what you got. So a lot of times we feel like, man, what am I here for? Like, what's the purpose of life? What's the purpose of, like, every day is just I'm doing the same old thing. I feel like a cog in the machine. It doesn't feel that good. So we're like, man, I need something better. The thing you need is not something else. It's not scraps of pleasure. You need yourself. So you need someone better, and that someone is you. You get what I'm saying? The person that you need is you. But first, you have to build yourself up in order to discover what that means. You have to educate yourself. So a lot of us, we get education on how to be workers. I'm telling you, this is how the system was built. I'm not saying it was your fault. I'm saying you got fallen into this trap, right? And somehow you went with it. So now, this is it. So you've been taught how to be a worker, but nobody taught you how to work on you. I want to ask you, when did you have an emotional intelligence class where they taught you how to work on that? When did they tell you how to work on your finances? Did they really prepare you for life, or did they prepare you for work? Did they prepare you to follow orders? Basically, you were prepared, you were groomed to not necessarily work on yourself. You were groomed to work on everybody else's projects and ideas and homeworks and assignments. So now you have to learn how to create your own assignment, your own homework, and your own projects. The moment you start to do that is the moment you're going to start to discover, because you have to educate yourself on how to do them. That's what school is about. So they give you a project in school, you got to figure out how to do this project. The way you figure it out is you got to study the course material. So you learn how to do projects because you acquired knowledge. You learn how to do homework because you acquired knowledge. You learn how to do classwork because you acquired knowledge. All of it in the schoolyard is the same thing in life. You have to learn how to do certain things in order to then apply it. So basically, you're like, man, I have like my belly all the time is not feeling that good. I feel gassy all the time. I'm feeling weird sometimes. I get headaches. You have to learn about your body then. You get what I'm saying? You need to be able to put words on what's happening with your organs. If you don't know where your organs are and you're just like, man, I just feel something right here. It's very vague, but I feel something right here. Where? You mean your liver, your spleen, your kidneys, your chest, your heart, your lungs. Where? What's happened? If you don't know, then you don't know how to describe. There's something called most the people who are happen prone to be a criminal in society. There's a test that says here's what happens: the less words you know, the more prone you are to a criminal because you get into more conflict. Somebody says, "Man, what you do? What you reminiscing on?" You say, "What you mean I'm reminiscing? I don't know what that means. What you mean?" So now you're getting aggressive because you don't know what it means. So it's the same way with your body. If you don't know what your body's telling you, or you don't know what's happening, then you get mad with yourself because you don't really know how to put a word on it. So to put a word on it, you got to acquire words. Somebody says, how do I acquire words? Well, guess what? You're in the right place right here. I'm sharing some good words. You're acquiring some knowledge, right? You'll be able to then apply it. So you're like, okay, I need to acquire words so I can put a word on it. If you can't, I say all this. You have to be able to put a word on it. I say like put a word on it. What that means is you have to be able to describe what's happening with you and in your life in order to change it. If you can't put a word on it, then you could put a bunch of uh, pictures behind it that looks like a horror movie. But if you can describe it effectively with some words, then you can say, oh, this is what's happening. So, for instance, let's say you feel very fidgety in your body and you feel like everything is going all over the place. Rather than saying, man, I'm going crazy right now or something's wrong with me, you can say, hey, I'm feeling very anxious and stressed right now. I'm realizing that there's an anxiety or stress in my body. Maybe I need to breathe. You are listening to what's happening and you're putting some words on it rather than putting like a horror story. You know how you feel something here? You'd be like, oh my God, I'm going to die. But then you can say, damn, my chest is hurting. I feel like a weight on my chest. What's happening? What emotions did I experience? How do you know how to do that? You got to practice it. It's a common practice. You acquire knowledge and you practice it. So I've read a lot of books, Somebody says, how do you get up? Well, guess what? When you get in the spirit brings up what you learn. So a lot of people say, well, I'll just pray. Maybe God will answer all my prayers. Now, God will, but you got to have the answers in your head as well. So you have to be able to acquire the knowledge. As you acquire the knowledge, the spirit will bring it out of you when you need it. So as soon as you can tap into the spirit, somebody says, how do I stay in spirit so I can get the knowledge that I'd already got? You already got a lot of knowledge. If you're on social media, if you got internet, you probably full of knowledge. It's just that you haven't been able to get yourself in a continuous state to get the knowledge out. And you have to speak the knowledge out. That's what sharing is about. Once you speak it out, you're able to, guess what? You're able to listen to your own knowledge. So I figured out that you have the best advice when you give advice. But you just got to give advice almost to yourself. Somebody says, well, I don't do speeches like you, bro, so I can't just do this. Well, yeah, you can just look in the mirror and start talking, right? You can actually start putting things in your journal where you're really going through and you're navigating through it that way. So I have a podcast. It's edtalksdaily.com. So you can literally, guess what? You can share what's going on within you by transmuting it from your head into paper or as audio, right? So I have this little strategy. Hold up, y'all share this video to 5 friends. The strategy is you record yourself. You record yourself. You record yourself like a audio diary or audio, go ahead. And you just speak. You speak it out. You just speak out what's happening about right now. And you just put a word on it. Okay? Put a word on it. You put a couple words on it. And you just speak out, this is what's happening, this is what happened today, this is how I feel about it. And you just express yourself. You just put that right there. Okay? And that's all you do. And then you could go back and listen to it a little bit later or tomorrow and rising and see where you was at if you transmuted it. Maybe you could do something else like qigong or meditation or prayer or devotion or whatever it is that you do. And you afterwards, you just tap in and you take that audio and you reflect on it and ask yourself, is this really true? This is a question I like to ask myself. There's something called cognitive distortions or cognitive dissonances. So sometimes you have to re-question yourself not necessarily in a gaslight format, but with a love and compassion to see from a different perspective. It's not questioning yourself to go towards one specific answer. That's not questioning. That's called gaslighting. You know, the questioning is there's possible directions. I question and I wait for multiple possible directions of answers. So this is when you just say, okay, is this really true? You can say, well, I can see in this aspect it's partly true, but then I can see in this aspect it's not that true. So you're like, okay, I get it. Okay, maybe this is not that true at all. So you can actually navigate through it. Be like, oh, okay, is this really true? Is this really what's happening right now? What I like to say, if you get a lot of things that says yes, yes, yes in your head, then at some point you might have to not even ask yourself that question. You just got to go to the mirror and remember and then stay the remember who you are statement. I like to say, so you create like a little statement that, like a note to yourself. Remember who you are. You write down a bunch of stuff that just describes you as you know yourself to be when you are at your highest peak, at your peakest state of mind, right? This is like, remember who you are. And then you write down, I am. A bunch of affirmations right after that. Remember who you are. Remember where you're going. Remember what you've done. Remember how you've overcome. Remember who you are. Right? You write these statements or you record it and you listen to it. So that way, whenever you catch yourself where you just see only bad things happening and later, you could just say, oh, remember who I was, remember who I am. And then you say that statement in the mirror or you listen to it. You do it intense, you breathe, you do fire breaths, you get a bunch of energy, and then boom, remember who you are. So that's going to help. So there's many things you could do. Now, you could come up with different things that will help you get yourself to a peak state of mind. Life is a series of moods. Life is a series of states. Okay, so we experience life in states. So what I mean by that is you experience life in different states. Today you might be very joyous, tomorrow you might be very sad. Today you might be very excited and motivated, tomorrow you might be maybe lethargic. However, what if you could transmute your lethargic into stillness, right? Because lethargy and stillness is, when you think about it, is a state of mind. It's just a slight state of mind. Lethargy is that one left. Lethargy is when you're just sitting and you're not satisfied with your sitting. Lethargy is when you're sitting and you're not satisfied with your sitting. Stillness is when you're sitting and you're satisfied with it. So that's the only difference between lethargy and stillness. One of them you're satisfied with it, the other one you're not. So definitely, you never have to experience any state that you don't want to, because it's really a state of mind. So what if I'm sitting here and I'm very lethargic? Why am I lethargic? Because things are pulling me into many directions. How do I be still? Realize that gratitude. I'm sitting here. Look, I'm alive. I'm breathing. And there's nothing wrong with me. I'm good. This is stillness. Eventually, the more you get grateful, the more you start to just look around and get in your breath. Eventually, you're going to come to a still. That's stillness. Lethargy is, I'm sitting here, but I want to be everywhere else. Like, why is Lakeisha over there? I want to be with Lakeisha and Johnny. Not here. They turning up over there. Or I want to go back in time. Or I want to travel to the future. I want to go, like, why did X do this? Because that, and then now it's like you annoyed with yourself. Now you're like, why am I doing this to myself? So then you start, why am I doing to myself? Then it becomes a loop. It becomes this game. And you're like, I'm tired. I'm lethargic now. Now, sometimes lethargy is actually inflammation. A lot of times it's one-on-one, because here's what happens. And this is basic. This is the if you remember this, you remember the whole formula. Okay, accumulation. All right, just write this down. You want to write this down. Accumulation. leads to stagnation, which leads to inflammation, which leads to disease. Okay, so what that means is as you accumulate different emotional states over time, it becomes stagnated energy. Okay, as that stagnated energy causes blockages within you, it becomes inflammation, right? Where your veins are working harder to pump your blood because now your blood is clogged up. There's backed up things all up in there. So now that causes certain heat within you that then affects your whole mental state. Think yourself like an oven. Now you have a lot of more smoke in you. So you feel heated, smoked up, hot, hot flashes, kidney, all those things. Okay, so now you're like, oh, okay, there's a correlation between how I feel and how I feel. Yeah, there's a correlation between how you feel and how you feel. So pretty much the body is the mind. The mind affects the body. The body is the mind. The mind affects the body. So the way that you are experiencing life every day thinking is going to end up how you're being. Literally how you are being. Now your thoughts then cause your decisions. Those decisions also accumulate things. So let's say you're feeling really pissed off, frustrated, angry. What you going to want? Pissed off, frustrated, angry. What you want? You want chips. You want all types. You're gonna be more indulging. You want more food. So this what then causes more accumulation in your body, which causes blockages, which leads to certain inflammation again. So certain way of eating causes inflammation. So now, in order for you to change this whole thing around lethargy, is gonna start with your mindset about how you're going through life and what you're doing to how you watching your energy level. So you're gonna start to eat to live rather than living to eat. So what the difference then is like, yo, I'm I'm going to start to fuel myself a certain way, not just the way I eat food, but the way I think, but the way I educate myself, the way I cultivate myself. So the way I eat food, the way I think, we talking about physical food, mental food, we're talking about and the way I express myself, the food that I give. So you have to first of all, you have to realize you are the source. Then you will be able to then water the food that's within you. Then you can share the food out. Remember, this was the whole point of the podcast. You got to remember that you are the seed, cultivate that seed, and then you'll be able to bring that seed out and learn how to cultivate it by acquiring knowledge. So then you start to be able to bring forth more fruits. So now that's what learning about lethargy is doing for you. So you're like, okay, I'm going to learn what best foods will get me at a higher energy state. What teas will help me with anxiety. I'm going to learn what movements and breathing patterns can help me with this and that. So now you start to, the more you learn, the more your body starts to earn. So what you're saying is the more you acquire, the more you're going to be able to acquire. The more vitality you're going to be acquired, the more abundant you're going to be. The more you're going to actually manifest because you are at a higher elevation point. So how you treat yourself is how you treat your life. So it's not even a matter of question of health, it's a question of your life. It's not a question of wealth, it's a question of your life. It is all that goes all together. So now, yeah, herbal teas. For instance, in the backyard, I am supernatural. Herbal teas can help a lot with health issues, 100%. Like, if you know about the bush tea, if you know, like, just outside in your backyard, there are leaves. Like, for instance, I have plenty of tea leaves. I got a bunch of tea leaves. In fact, some for sale. Vervain is really good for anxiety and stress and menstrual cycles. Vervain is one of the best ones you could actually take to relax when you're feeling very anxious. So now you're just drinking vervain tea, right? So you want to throw some mint in there, you can. You can mix them up. Now I got this Mexican tea, clears parasites from your body, along with detoxing. That in itself will clear out a bunch of inflammation from your body. You find yourself restored and refreshed, lethargy gone, just by detoxing and taking certain, just easily. So Cindy says vetiver. right? That's something else you can take. So there's like so many different teas you could drink, help clean your body, and you learn about them, right? So during this podcast, like I don't usually go too deep on the teas and all everything you need to do. That's what I always say. Like you come to the tribe, I show you the exercises, I show you these things. You acquire the knowledge. So at the same time, I share the blueprint, the mindset behind it, like why you want to cultivate that. Because then you're gonna become a seeker, then you're gonna get way more. Because it's not what I got. There's just thousands of different ways you can learn out there, right? But once you become a seeker, like, in fact, you go to edtalksdaily.com/audible, you get yourself a free book on Audible, audiobook. Okay, so you just get on Audible. You go to edtalksdaily.com/audible. You get yourself a free audiobook, and you'll be able to tap in and listen. So I'm about to end up the podcast here. You just got to educate yourself on your body and how it works, and you'll be able to get to the next level. So I do that almost every day for Rise and Prime tomorrow. In fact, at 7 a.m., tap in, free class coming at 7 a.m. Eastern Time, riseandprime.co. And you'll be able to sign up. And you'll be able to come, try out the session. I'm going to be talking about a lot of these things. I'm going to be sharing all of those nuggets in there. So if you want to come in, you want to do the mental health check-in, the mindful movement, personal development, affirmations, tap in. Every single day, Monday through Friday, we rise and we prime. That's just a concept of, listen, you don't have to wake up in the state that you're in and be satisfied with it. Like, you don't have to wake up in the same state that you're in and be satisfied with it if it's not serving you. Like, if the state you're in is not serving you, then you can change that state. Wake up every day that you rise, you can prime yourself to the way you want to be. In fact, I learned this from the guru himself, Tony Robbins. Right? He talked about exactly that. He talked about how when you prime yourself right in the rising, you take yourself to a different state, affects the entire day. In fact, this is old age knowledge. I ain't come up with this. Tony didn't come up with this. This has been like for the beginning of time. People will wake up at 4 a.m. and do some early bird things. I've been doing that for the last 4 or 5 years. So that's kind of like why I even started Rise to Prime. That's where the concept came from. And I learned these different things that when I did before my days went way better. And when I didn't do them, my days didn't go that well. So then I said, if there are certain things I do that make my day go better, then it's better that I do those certain things. So I started doing those certain things consistently as a routine. And I did that routine like for years. I would wake up at like 4:30 a.m. I'd do running, I do meditation, I do journaling, I listen to motivational messages, and then I start working on my business. So I was like, I've been in the fitness, health and wellness space for the last 6 years. Started off as a personal trainer, and then I had to learn different things. So the easiest thing to start is with your body. You go for a walk, you start moving, easiest way, because your body will then start to unveil a lot of things. As your body opens up, it releases the mind. Like I said, the mind influences the body influences the mind. But if you can get out of your mind by getting into your body, it's much easier. So we're talking about starting with things like massage, movement, stuff like that. So I started with that. I started to help people with their physical bodies. You could it's easier to start with your physical. And from that point, what you do is you have to tap into the mind by learning how to breathe. And I feel like that is the next step. The body also is going to include breathing and eating, actually. The body includes that, right? Once you get in touch with the body, you have to learn how to do that in a proper fashion, of course. Breathing and eating. And drinking. Smoothies, juicing. So you got to have a high-speed blender and a juicer. That's number one. Number one tip to be a part of, to start that holistic lifestyle. And then you start to put that in there, right? So you got to acquire that. So now I learned that it's not just about the body. If the mind is not in the right mentality, you're going to keep going back. So that's why I had to seek out mentors to teach me more about the mind. And so I learned from a doctor, Dr. George Xavier Love, who taught me medical Qigong and traditional Chinese medicine. So that's why I learned traditional Chinese medicine. Now I teach it. So then I learned Qigong, which helps cultivate your life force energy to rebalance. So people had, first I understood and motivated people how to get out of it, but then I would have the tools to share with them. So now I got the tools to share with them on how to actually get rid of sadness from your heart, grief from your lungs, anxiety from your shoulders, fear from your kidneys, anger from your liver, worry from your spleen. So now I know how to do it specifically, in addition to the mindset, in addition to the body. And so it all came full circle. So basically, you see how as I sought knowledge, I became more valuable. And within that value, I took that value and I shared it with you. So everything I applied, I'm just sharing. So now somebody says, what in the terms makes it valuable for me? Well, because this is my experience that I've acquired, that now I'm able to put it to help you. So now my value then has now transmitted into you. And hence, this is why people do a transaction, because there's a transactional value here. I'm adding value to you, and you're gonna add value to me, because you then say, hey, I got you. Okay, so now it's a reciprocation process. So I just kind of explained to you basically the sum of this whole podcast. As you recognize who you are and what you have, and you go through the dirt, which builds you up. You are the seed, but life is going to cover up with dirt, with compost. That's the composition of you. The composition that fuels you is the dirt that feels like it's covering up your dreams, but it's just actually covering up the seed. When you thought you was buried 6 feet deep, you were planted in the ground, about to sprout up. The leaves or the dead weight that you had to fall, now you never knew that the dead weight that you let fall on the wayside became fertilizer. And then the water is the constant acts that you do every single day, every single day, every single day. And then the compost, now that's the shit, right? I like to say it just like that happens to you. But you know, you take that shit and you turn that shit into beauty, because then it fuels you up, boom, you sprout up. So now, here's the thing though, some trees are just in the growth stage. Not everybody notices every tree till you see a bunch of fruits, right? So in your development process, you're gonna be bearing fruit along the way, but then along the way, certain people are gonna enjoy your leaves. People are gonna enjoy your leaves for tea, because you might share what you got in one fashion, one way, but you're not really sharing the full fruit. Not every plant bears fruit in the first couple of years. Some seeds bear fruit years thereafter, but in the midst of its growth, you can use the leaves for tea. So while you're developing, you might not be at your ultimate best, but there's something you can share along the process that will benefit others, that can make you either currency or bring you value in the form of you adding value to people, which is the best. Which is, whenever you rise, you add value. You're going rising. Whenever you add value to others, you get a lot of value back. It's simple. So now, since you are the seed, you're planted in the composition of your dreams. You are growing. Sometime it looks like this. You're in the process. I'm just sharing my process. I'm just sharing what I got in me. You know, the first thing you can start doing is don't hide yourself, share yourself. What I mean by that is simple. Nowadays, you don't have to do too much. You just need to post some stuff. I just said that. You don't have to do too much. You just need to post some stuff. All that means is show some of the stuff you got. You don't have to show everything all at once. You just got to show some of the stuff you know. Show it. And then what that is you're just showing the leaves. When somebody sees it and it's just like, I feel relaxed, I like that, this inspired me, or this taught me something, it's like you're giving them some tea leaves. But as you blossom, then you could have products, services, you could start to evolve. You get what I'm saying? But eventually you start to share what you got, no matter what it is, no matter what type of talent it is, no matter what it is you cultivated. It could just be something you've been doing all your life. You could start to just share what you've been doing all your life. And you just start to share the leaves. People gonna start gravitating towards that, and then you just gotta keep watering it every single day. Now the concept of the bamboo tree is you plant it in the ground and you keep watering this sucker for like years and years and years. But nobody's seeing no tree. Everybody thinking you crazy. They're like, yo, how much time you gonna spend on your Instagram? Be like, yo, I'm gonna put the water every single day. That's right. And then you're gonna keep working on that TikTok, your Facebook, your LinkedIn, because really those are the vehicles now, right? You keep pouring water in it. You're just showing the leaves for now. And then you start having fruits, more and more fruits, and then you elevate to the next level. And then eventually the more fruits you got, you become more attractive. The tree is like everybody start running to the tree. But you know what? At the leaf stage of your life, that's when you actually, that's the most beautiful part of it. It's not when you have all this fruit, because it was during the process you learned everything you needed. You learn how to cultivate the plant, how to like prevent the bugs from getting you. You get what I'm saying? Because people gonna try to bug you. You get what I'm saying? They're gonna be like commenting on your stuff, talking trash, and you're gonna get all types of looks. Family members gonna be like, yo, what you working on again? Like, why don't you get a job? Why don't you quit? And you're like, yo, this is my dream, just what I'm gonna do. They're like, nah, you ain't gonna do that. What you doing? You wasting your time. So, and while people ridiculing you for watering a seed that's underneath the ground, you just got to keep doing it every day. I was just telling my friends that just now, I was like, yo, I'm out here speaking to the plant. I'm speaking to about 1,000 cup of leaves now. Those going to be a couple million people later. Okay, can I get an amen for that one? What I'm saying is every single day I'm out here, literally, I'm having like multiple speeches. I'm having seminars. I'm having literally mini retreats in my backyard. So somebody says, yo, what you doing? What you doing watering this plant? When is it going to grow to this ultimate? I'm like, don't worry about it, sweetheart. Don't worry about it, sweetheart. Don't worry about it, sweetheart. It's that spot. So I'm just saying, that was kind of funny. All right, so I'm just saying, you keep putting in the work every single day and you just don't stop. And like, you just have to do what it is you got to do. Because at the end of the day, somebody out here is being inspired and motivated. You get what I'm saying? Whether it's like 5 people or 500 or 5,000, you just keep going at your dream. Like, you just keep doing it, right? So somebody says, why don't you keep it down to real? I'm like, yo, keeping it down to real is what I do every single day. Because guess what? What I do every day is I just share a piece of my life. I share with you what's going on with me, how I'm motivated and inspired, what's happening. I keep it raw down to the dog. Because at the end of the day, somebody says, what do you see? You don't need to see what I see. I see what I see. Okay? Okay. You don't need to see what I see. I see what I see. It's your vision. Like, here's the thing. Other people don't need to see your vision for it to become a reality. It's your vision. All you got to do is keep on the vision. You keep working on it. Look, the vision is created by every single time you open your eyes and see what's in front of you. Every time you open your eyes and see like this is an opportunity to create, your vision is coming to an end. Listen, it takes minute steps to become the top of your game. But here's the thing. If you found the people who had if you found the trees that were watered every day and you hung around those and you went in that ecosystem, you would get some water too. So that's when you have to change your ecosystem, my friends. Because then it's not always about sitting on it. Sometimes you go sit underneath a big tree and the big tree stunts your growth because that tree stopped watering. They just wait for the rain. They don't need the water no more. They just, it's going to rain soon, eventually. But the seeds that are hungry, they planting them seeds. They're watering it every day. So there's a different mindset, different environment. So what I'm saying is this. Sometimes if you are smart, and you are, is that you just hang out other people who are like that. And then other people who even watering their seeds more. And that energy is going to come off of you. Now your garden is going to be cultivating a little bit more. Now, guess what? Everybody who's watering it they know the process. So guess what's happening? Because they know the process, they're not going to judge you. They're going to support you more. So now you're like, yo, I know what the entrepreneurship grind is. So I'm going to work with you. Or I know what it is to just start sharing my talent. I know how that is. I know how it is to be an artist. I know how it is. So once you get around the I know how it is people, then you're going to get away from those I know how it's going to be people. Those I know how it's going to be people. They don't know. They don't really know, but they think they know, right? How can you know what's going to be for me if you've never been where I've been? So, right, if you have a dream or goal or vision, people who haven't traveled the road ain't gonna know. So don't expect them to know. That's called like false expectations appearing real, called fear. You get what I'm saying? False expectations appearing real is fear, and you don't want that to rule your life by people who haven't even traveled the road. They only saw the movie, now they telling you what they saw. You be talking about, man, I saw the real thing. I saw a vision. Like, but I saw the movie. Be like, what are you talking about? I saw the vision. Be like, but I saw the no, boo boo. I know the vision. You just saw what you saw about what they said, and you made it your saying. You see what I'm saying? So those type of people, you can't listen to them. Now, if you're that type of person, please change. Okay? Don't be that type of person to your friends. Be the type of person that encourages them. That says you know what, keep going at it. Be the friend that's empowering. Okay? For your sake and your friend's sake. Be a good empowerment person. I could go on and on and on. As soon as I go on, I'll keep going on and on and on. Listen, if y'all want to tap into more of this, tap into edtalksdaily.com. Right, subscribe to the podcast. It's right there in the bottom description, the pin. Just click more and you see the rest. And come to Rise and Prime. Tap in, yo. I be like, yo, spread yourself around the seeds. And I'm like, but little did you know, you're like, man, I am like a seed watering every day. But you're like, okay, yeah, spread yourself around the seed. I go look for the seed, but I see it right here. You know, tap in. But you're like, okay, I'm gonna go over there though. I'm gonna try that. I'm like, okay, but come over here though. Look, it's just I'm ordering it. It's literally, come right here. Rise and Prime. I'm ordering my seed. Come order your seed with me, because I'm actually doing the work with other likewise individuals, and it's literally like a family. riseandprime.co, the best powerful rising routine in the world. Okay, so sign up. Coming tomorrow at 7 a.m. Eastern time. I'm accommodated, and you're gonna come through. So cut through. Get your ticket. It's free, and you'll be able to come. And we do mental health check-in, personal development, movement, and then affirmations. And you're gonna learn how to do the first thing in the rising that's gonna affect your entire day, right? So go to riseandprime.co. I'm gonna keep talking about it, because what I realize is I might be watering my seeds, and there's a lot of people watering their seeds, and shoot, we could be watering them seeds together. So I gotta be adamant and sharing my gift every day. 7 a.m. you tap in the Rise and Prime, and I promise you're gonna get some fire. It's different. It's different. I mean, the people here in the comments can tell you right now, Rise and Prime is powerful. Right? It's gonna be tomorrow 7 a.m. and you can join on Monday. So every Monday and Friday you tap in. So now I know this is gonna change. We're gonna change the trajectory of wellness one day. But however, that's my vision. You don't need to see it. But what you can see is you can see the watering of the seed. Come through and tap in and have the holistic lifestyle tribe, right? This is a community of wellness where you're going to be tapped in all the time with me, become part of the family, really. We have Qigong classes. We have it a daily. You could come every day instead of 2 days out the week. And then you have an access to the detox program, all the videos, everything existing. Man, it's so valuable. You know, I know like every seed that I have sprouted tree is super valuable right now. They're just gonna get more valuable when everybody start noticing, oh, this is the tree. We'll be like, well, it was always there. But anyways, you can tap into it way right now. Tap into it. I have the book club in there. But it's not even about me though. It's the community though. It's the people. Now I know the reason why I know I'm dope, because I know the dope people that I'm surrounded with. So I realized that because of energy attracts and vibes with. So I'm around such beautiful souls, empowering people who are like, I feel like they empower. They're my circle. They fuel me up. You get what I'm saying? So basically, it's literally a mastermind. I always had an idea of doing a mastermind. That's why this surrounds around a lot of healers are in this group too. I realized that, and I surrounded it around healers because I realized that God is guiding my steps in a way that can impact other people to impact other people. So I realized that this is my path. So it's a mastermind of healers growing together and building their brand and themselves.
So that's why I be like seeds watering next to each other. Duh. Like you only want to surround yourself with all the most powerful people, and then now as they all get into doors, we all walking in together. But you know, you have to see it like that, right? So that's why I try to help people see the vision of it. So that's why you want to cut through. Like it's way more than a routine. It's like it's way more powerful. I tell people, but you know, and my only reason for doing this is it's like God inspired me to launch this. I launched this in December, and I've been doing this thing every day. It's fire, man. I'm like, the holistic lifestyle tribe is going to change the world. And recently I was like, yo, bro, you got to get this out here. You know what I'm saying? I can't sit on it, like, because guess what? Time is like, here's what I realized. If you're a healer, you need to do the work not for your sake. This is not about you. This is about the people who will be impacted by you. This is about your family, your future generation. This is way more than you. Like, that's what motivates me the most. You know, when I used to have self-oriented goals to fulfill my ego, it was one thing. But now that I have social goals, I'm moved by the world. It's different. So my inspiration is different. God, I feel like if the more people you are really, your heart is in it for, is the more people you're gonna reach. If you are not in it, if you're only on it from one person, you're gonna reach that much dimension. Too much is given, much is required. Listen, however, the more you share, the more you get. The more you share for not even the sole purpose of getting, the more you'll be blessed. The more protection you have, the more divine, the more you walk around and there's a certain thing to you. So you want to build that sort of enlightenment, because what else is there to do? I'm saying, what else is there? The highest version of yourself and living up to an ideal that does not hit you, what else is there? Besides serving, tap in. If you just like, yo, I'm tapping in already, and you ready to just text me right now, just text RISE to my number. Text RISE to 561-910-9605. And we'll get you on Rise and Prime. Text RISE to 561-510-9605. And there's another thing too. I tell you one thing, but you see what I'm doing though. You see I got everything, the setup. So I tell somebody, well, yeah, you see what I'm talking about, but don't you see what I'm doing? You see, you got to look at how I'm ordering the seeds. A lot of you say, well, tell me how you're ordering it. I'm like, I like this. I'm ordering it like this, just like that. But you're like, but tell me though. No. Look, my friend. Just look how I'm doing it. So I have a podcast. You see, I'm doing a podcast. I'm doing a live video. I'm just sharing what I got. What do you see I'm doing? I'm saying I got a community. What do you see what I'm doing? You see what I'm doing? I'm empowering. I'm being myself. You see what I'm doing? I got a text messaging. I communicate with people one-on-one because I actually care. You see what I'm doing? I'm saying what I'm doing. I'm telling you what I'm doing. I'm showing you what I'm doing. And it's just to each the process. And once you join me, what I'm doing will work. You get what I'm saying? And then it works for you. And then the cycle keeps going. That's success. Success is not because I'm big time while you type in with me, but because you can see that I add value, and that value can be added onto others. So you're like, yo, I want to teach people how to be more healthier, but you see I teach people how to be more healthier. I share you some exercises that can be good for you too, Bill. I share a couple knowledge that you may or may not have yet learned. That may be helpful for your practice, for your business. So you think about it. See, you have to surround yourself with not just the concept of achieving, but what you're able to give out, the essence of giving, not the concept of receiving, but the essence of giving. The essence of giving is only learned through knowledge. It's one way to learn how to build the wagon or the car to bring something to market, but you have to have the content for the wagon. You have to have the gold, and the gold come in nuggets, learning, getting the shovel, and that comes through knowledge. All right, I'm done. edtalksdaily.com. Y'all subscribe. I'm out. I done spoke my truth today. I did. Y'all share this. I'm gonna leave this video up. So share this video. to your friend if you thought it was pretty fire. Okay? And remember, you have the unlimited power in you to achieve whatever it is that you want. You just got to keep ordering your plant every day, every single day. You never stop. You don't quit. You don't give up. You don't surrender. You keep doing it no matter what. All you do is water your plant no matter what. All you do is win, win, win. You just keep doing it every single day no matter what. You keep doing it every single day no matter what. All I do is win, win, win. Come on. Remember, keep doing that. And until you do that, the world forever miss all your talents, all your gifts, and all the great things that you have to offer. So remember, let your light shine. Don't hide it. Don't dim it. Peace.